Everybody, man, you met with your main man, Anthony Brogdon, today on Strong Inspirations, and I got a smooth dude on the channel. Watch out. I'm telling you, this guy is, oh my God, you're going to like this brother. He's smooth, and he got a unique career perspective that he doing. All right. And I'm really excited that he has come on the channel. And let me tell you something, my friends. I found him just off the cuff. I called him. He said, man, hold on. I'll call you back. Give me 10 minutes. He called back in 9 minutes. Let me tell you how smooth he is. And then I told him what I'm doing. He ain't do no vetting me or nothing. He said, man, I can come on today. I got stuff I want people to hear. And sometimes it, you know, it'd be months with some other people. I ain't saying nothing wrong with that. Trust me, I'll wait a year, 2 years for you to come on this channel, because I hit you up because I want you to tell it. But my man said, I got a little time today, man. I'll come on today. I said, cool, Mo D in the house. Here we go. Hit the subscribe button on Strong Inspirations. I ain't playing with y'all. Nope, I ain't doing. I'm gonna give you this information. I'm gonna let the people do the talking. I'm gonna ask a couple questions. I'm gonna get this information to you. And then hit the like button on this video. Watch out. You're gonna like what he got to tell you. Hit the like button on this video. Hit the notifications bell, because I'm putting 3, 4, 5 videos up a week. The train has left the station, my friends. I put them up. And then after I put them up, I blast them on my social media. Follow me on my Twitter at A Strong Dream. Go to my Facebook page, Strong Inspirations. And do all that stuff. I don't do too much TikTok. That ain't my thing. And Instagram, but there's pictures. But on Twitter, I post them all the time and put them all on them Facebook groups. And so do those things, my friend. Now, let me ask you this. Had you seen the video I got with Josh Gibson's great-great-grandson? The Negro League baseball player? Watch that video. Did you see the one I did with the 2 guys talking about blacks in auto racing? Watch that video. Did you see the one I did with the lady who said that her, and this is the case, her great-great-grandmother was Madam C.J. Walker? Watch that video. Did you see the one that I did with the guy who, no, it's a lady in a small town in Hopkinsville, I think it's Kentucky or Tennessee. She's in the area that is surrounded by all that Confederate stuff, right? Back in the day. And you know what it looked like today. She's got a museum and they got Black history exhibits. She said, I got to tell all the story. Watch that video. Did you see the one I did with the guy? Have you ever heard of a dude named Josiah Henson? Him and his cousin, Matthew Henson, both of them famous. Josiah Henson was an abolitionist that went up to Canada. This guy is his great-great-grandson. Watch that video. Check me out, everybody. Strong Inspirations. And how about this? Little old me, I'm having my own Black History Festival in Kansas City, Kansas. I interviewed a guy whose great-grandfather escaped from Missouri. He walked across the Missouri River, it froze, and he ended up in Quindale, and he told that man, you come over here, we're gonna have a fight out. I ain't coming back. And he stayed and opened up a business and did well, provided for his family. I interviewed his great-great-grandson, and so that's why I'm having my festival in Quindale. I want to see this place. And I'm gonna rock you. Go, just check me out. It's called Freedom Quindale. It's on my website, businessintheblack.net. If you know by now, I'm a filmmaker. This is my film. It's called Business in the Black. I'm telling you, slaves owned businesses, and I name names. And I tell you the business, and I tell you they used the money to buy their freedom. That's my movie. I produced that. It's good. It's streaming on Amazon. And then if you got a moment, and it don't take you long, I ain't gonna lie to you, because it ain't no big book. I ain't no big book reader, even though I'm gonna read a big book this year. That's my charge. It's called Business in the Black, on the rise of Black business in America, similar to the movie. But let me tell you, did you know there were some slaves who sued for their freedom? They was in court. They took the man to court and won. Let me go, man. I ain't no good slave. I can't take it. I'm coming out of this situation. I got all that in my book, all the way slaves got their freedom, and Black business owners. What the white people did to destroy us, not just what they did in Tulsa. Had y'all heard about Clinton? They killed 300 Black people. They were sharecroppers in the farm because they wanted to vote. I got the lady on there who's dedicating her life on the channel. She did an interview, and I got her video. Look that one up. But check out my book, everybody. It's very reasonably priced. You get one, I give you an autograph. And if you know everything in this book, I give you money back. So how about a book with a money back guarantee? Boom, shakalaka. I'm that confident. Now you hear me use this word strong a lot. This is my favorite word, man. I wish I lived on Strong Street, strong license plate. I wouldn't even mind my last name being Strong, but I like what it is. I come from a good family, you know what I mean? Good peoples. And so it stands for strength, tenacity, resilience, and a sense of oneness, nobility, and grace. And check this out. That is my introduction to my guest today. He's a strong man. Come on, brother, introduce yourself. Let's get it on Strong Inspiration. I thank you for coming on the channel.
Thank you for having me. My name is Corey Lee. I'm the executive director of the Cowtown Foundation, and our life's work is getting pretty much vindicating Black farmers' rights for long-term or admitted decades-old discrimination by the USDA.
Love it. Okay, I like this, man. I told you, everybody, I told you it's gonna be something good. My man got the hat on it too for it. He authentic, right? How about this? Are you from there? Where you originally from?
Now, I'm originally from North Carolina. I graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. And from there, I stayed in North Carolina throughout college. I had a chance, you was talking about Josh Gibson earlier. I had a chance to play professional baseball in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. And so I'm very competitive by nature. I'm old now, but I still calf rope rodeo. And but there's not anything more gratifying than actually working for other people who can't fight for themselves, so to speak.
I love it. Now but okay, do you go back in your family before North Carolina? Like, do you know were they slaves and where the plantation and that kind of thing? Do you do any of that?
Yes, I know a little bit about that. They all pretty much came out of right on the Virginia, North Carolina border, right, a place called Milton, North Carolina.
Okay.
And so both from my father's side and from my mother's side. And so, some of the family went over to Virginia, which is right on the line called Danville, Virginia. And the other parts was right around Roxborough, North Carolina. And it's all within 45 miles of each other.
Is there I'm sure there is, but do you know how the slavery thing component worked in your family? Did they, get their freedom, or just when it was over, did they stay down there? What, any of that type of story?
That I don't know all the way to that far back, yeah. But I can tell you that we have people in our family that were very, very light skinned, actually went north like the Philadelphia, became judges, and it's a lot of history in my family.
Oh, so there's some white back in the day.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Did you ever meet them?
I did not, but I'm 51 years old, and about 7 or 8 months ago, I was visiting my mom back in North Carolina, and I was looking through some pictures, and I did not know that her grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee. It's the first time I've ever seen a picture, like, because she never, we rarely talked about them, and so which I'm kind of like, well, how come I've never heard about this lady,
Yeah,
and so it's something I would like to know. I might do the genealogy tree one day, uh,
yeah.
see what it turns out.
Let me ask you this: because you didn't hear, do you think she was embarrassed by that story?
I doubt it. Yeah, I seriously doubt it.
Because that's her
Uh,
people. There's nothing you can do about it.
yeah, but not my mom. No, not
Yeah,
not at all. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be is what it is. I mean, she's a very intelligent lady.
yeah.
Uh, she's very graceful, but she'll tell it like it is, and
Eh,
not
eh,
being embarrassed about anything in her past or her family's past.
so where you grew up, was there? And I know this is before your time, but did you hear stories of the violence or something like that against Black people?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. When I told you a little earlier that I graduated from North Carolina A&T, where the 4 students sat in at the Woolworth counter, as recently as 1979, they had the Nazi Ku Klux Klan shootout where they had the Nazis, and I remember this. They had a parade in downtown Greensboro, then went over to the projects and killed 8 people, and they got it on video. And maybe 6, 7 years later, they were acquitted of murder, first degree murder.
Really?
Yeah, and that's something that I'll never forget.
But you've never seen KKK yourself, have you?
I actually saw the people going down to the parade the day that it happened.
Oh,
Oh, no, not
really?
the day that it happened.
Yeah.
The day they were acquitted. Yeah.
Man, because I've seen them. I saw 3 of them once. I was living in Atlanta, and they had enough gall to walk down Auburn Avenue. It was 3 of them, and they had 400 troopers, so nothing would happen. But
Hmm.
I remember that, and that played on me. Growing up where you grew up what's a cowboy? Let me ask you that.
Well, if you do your history, that 1 out of every 3 cowboys in the Old West, if not 1.5, were Black. In fact, the definition or the term cowboy came back from when the slave owners used to tell the slaves to go get their cow, and that's how cowboy derived.
That's what I heard. I heard that. Yep.
And as far as the contributions to rodeo in the Old West, especially after slavery, well, before and after slavery, that all your top hands, because it was the slaves that worked cattle, you know, when after slavery ended, Emancipation Proclamation and the Civil War, as you went out west, a lot of the cowboys, the Black cowboys, they were on cattle drives and things of that nature. They fought with and along with the Indians, and even in the Mexican War. And then a lot of the Black soldiers went over into Mexico. So there's a long history that's untold as it comes to as it relates to uh, Black cowboys in American history. As you know, that we're soon to be written out of history or anything
Yep.
that we contributed to this country.
Because I would suspect doing cowboy, that was I don't know, maybe kind of a glamorous life. I mean, they made money with those cattle drives, I'm sure, and that kind of thing.
Yes, for the standpoint of that, you just had basically Black men and white men, some Hispanics doing the cattle drive. They really didn't have any problem until you mixed in the women. And also for another nugget, I think that it was Black jockeys that won the first 12 of 16 Kentucky Derby races, and then the legislature of Kentucky uh, created a law to outlaw Black because it was too much prestige in those jockeys winning, and they didn't want those jockeys to be the face of thoroughbred racing.
Yeah. Are you a cowboy? Do you call
Oh yes,
yourself that?
yes, I rode cattle, and I still rodeo.
Okay, well, if the white man came over to turn cowboy and he was saying it to be demeaning, you don't look at it like that, though.
I was a different kind of brother, man. From the standpoint of, I would never let somebody try to steal my joy or something that they may term to be derogatory,
I love it.
or saying jest. I mean, you can't get in my grill like that. Every day that I wake up, there was a blessing for me to get up. You didn't give me joy, you sure can't take it from me. So why would I worry about what you have to say about me? And that, that's from anybody.
Yeah, I love it. So did you grow up on a farm?
I grew up, my first 10 years was in Danville, Virginia, and we were way out, well, what we consider way out in the country. So when I was like 7th, 8th grade, when we would come home from school, we would go squirrel hunting. You're talking about kids toting shotguns and go hunting. And my cousins had ponies. They were not too tame, man. They'd run off through the woods with you. We pulled the back, and we did it all.
And so that was good living doing that, though, wasn't it?
Well, it's from the standpoint, you look at the late 70s, early 80s, is that when you grew up not having anything, but you didn't know what having something was. But in those days, a lot of your relatives were your neighbors, but your if you got caught doing something crazy, your neighbors would tear you up right then and there, and then your mama would get you when she got home. It's not like it is today.
Did you hang with some white kids, or all your friends was black?
When I lived in Virginia, only white kids I ever saw were at school. All my neighbors was black all the way through. When I moved to North Carolina, things changed, whatever.
Oh, is that so? The high school you went to was all black high school?
No, it was all white high school. The college I went to was all black.
Yeah. But you said growing up, all you saw was black people. Isn't that what you just said, though?
My first 10 years, yeah.
And then you moved or something like that?
Yeah, I moved to North Carolina.
Growing up on a farm, okay, you grew up in the rural. Was it a farm that you grew up on too?
I wouldn't say it was too much was a farm. I don't know if you're trying to get to like my things for horses, but I really didn't get into horses really, really big until I was 12. And then we were at a neighborhood pool in North Carolina, me and some friends, and we were walking by this farm that was across the street. And the guy yelled at us and said, "Hey," and was like, "What does this guy want?" And he was like, "Do y'all want to make some money?" And we was like, "Sure." So he said, "I'll pay you $50 a week if you will come by 3 days a week and pick stalls." Well, that led into a friendship that we still have to this day. I mean, $50 a day to pick 8 stalls. I mean, $50 a week to pick 8 stalls. From a horse farm, 3 miles from your house. And I would sometimes ride my go-kart over to this guy's farm or my bike, one or the other. But I really, really got into horses then. I didn't start rodeoing and roping until I was 27.
What did you have to do when you fixed it? What did he hire you to do?
I started off just kind of cleaning stalls.
So okay, let me get this straight. I'm a big city man, so let me figure. The stall is where the horse is, right? Uh-huh. And that's the one little. I mean, there's in a barn or something. There might be 5 or 6 stalls down on the same side and on the other side. You got to go in there, take the hay, and dump the hay out to get the boo-boo out, and put new hay in.
With a pitchfork, it doesn't take long. I mean, sometimes when they call stripping the stall, when you get to the base of it, it kind of stinks a little bit, but it's nothing major at all. But it went from that until I started riding horses there every time I would go to work, and even the days I didn't work. When I worked, it probably took 45 minutes at most. And then I would start saddling up, and I was riding. And then when I was 12, 13, and so when they had 2-year-old horses that was training to break, if you're too heavy and their knees quite haven't developed yet, and so at that age I was really light, so I would be the first ones to ride the horses, to kind of start training them around.
Did you get on a horse that was bucking? I guess what's the bucking thing when the horse is kicking real wild and you got to break the horse? What is that scenario?
It's called bucking. Like that rarely happens. Yeah, I've been on horses that just broke out and start bucking. But that just comes along with the territory, and that rarely happens. And especially as you get older and you get up into a higher class of cowboyism, so to speak, I mean, you know what you're looking for. And when you buy horses and things of that nature, you know what to look for. But like at my age, I'm not going to get on a horse that I know that's going to buck. I mean, like, I'm not going to get on a 3-year-old horse that hasn't been ridden. You know, why would I do that? That's just dumb. When you can pay some kid like I used to be to jump up there and ride the book out of him.
Have you ever gotten hurt riding a horse?
No, I mean, I've come off a horse roping before, like trip coming as like when you rope calves in a rodeo, you'll rope them and you'll have to get down and go tie 3 legs up. I've stumbled coming off a horse, but as far as like breaking the bones or something like that, no, I've never been hurt.
Are you really good at it where you've won some or something like that?
I'm pretty doggone good at it. You got to think that I was a world-class athlete in my 20s, you know, hence how I got to play professional baseball. And, you know, and I still like to think I still got a few moves left.
What about the bulls? Who rides the bulls? Do you ever do that?
Bro, no.
That's another level, right?
Well, it's not another level, but you got to think about this. Riding a bull, you only need one bad day. And then they may not be a tomorrow. And I've got a friend of mine who maybe 96 or 97 was the world champion, who got paralyzed, is in a wheelchair to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Riding bulls is, you know, if that's what you want to do, but at the end of the day, it's a sport, but it's a very, very dangerous sport. I mean, you're
really?
talking about a 2,000-pound bull. You know, just say if even if you ride him through 8 seconds and you jump off, and he hooks back around and you didn't see him, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Or you trip, or he throws you off and comes down on you with you know, with his legs and crushes your ribs and backs and stuff like that. You know, there ain't no future in that for me.
Yeah, I got you. There's the Bill Pickett Rodeo, which is one of the largest, right? Black rodeos or something like that, or what's that scenario?
Most recognizable black rodeo. This is the thing about that. The Bill Pickett Rodeo, it's I like the symbolism in it. My thing is you want to compete against the best. It doesn't matter what. You can still have your heritage.
I got you. I like it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you can still have your heritage, but don't discriminate for somebody getting there, because I ain't gonna lie to you. If I go to a rodeo and somebody says, no, you're not getting it because you're black, we gonna have some problems. We gonna have some real problems like getting there.
Now, you say you've been spending your life for the black farmer. Well, are you a farmer? Have you ever been a farmer?
Oh yeah, I had a cattle ranch in Kentucky. And so I'm in the meat processing and distribution business in Tennessee. And like I said, I still rodeo. I have 2 horses, very nice horses. And the deal is that the Cowtown Foundation, what we do is right now we have a lawsuit filed in DC on behalf of black farmers to basically force Secretary Vilsack to stop the ongoing discrimination that's happened over decades against black farmers. Just for example, over the last 3 years, they've given out $46 billion between the China trade wars and the pandemic COVID relief. Black farmers has only received less than 0.1% of that money. And then we switch administrations, nothing has changed. And so we're bringing light to what it seems to be. It doesn't matter the administration, we're being pimped for our vote. And once certain sides get our votes, especially black farmers, well, we want to deal with this issue. Even though Congress passed a bill to pay off the debt, the USDA has not lived up to the end of the bargain. So we initiated a lawsuit, and things are going very well. So that's what my life and my mission is that I'm going to be fine. But what about that 50, that 60, 70, 80-year-old black man who's farming all his life and cannot figure out why he can't get ahead? But then on the other hand, you turn on TV and you hear people talk about black people on welfare. Well, white farmers on more welfare as far as they get grants. Who cannot operate a farm when you give them three, four, $1 million a year in grant money? For example, you go down these, you're in Detroit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you go out to the rural areas of Michigan and you get out to the farm area, you might pass by a big combine, picks up half the road, takes up the whole road. You got
Okay.
to pull over to the side. That combine costs over $750,000. You follow them people home, there might be 8 of them there. There might be 5 of them there. You can't pay that when corn's $5 a bushel. And you know what I'm saying? That doesn't add up.
Right.
They're getting grant money to be able to farm while black farmers aren't getting anything. And with the
I
whole
see.
story that the black farmers will default so they can get the land. It's all about the land. Make no mistake about it.
Let's go back a little bit on this. No, what's the historical perspective of black farmers and the discrimination that was happening to them? It's probably the same today as it was then. But what are some of the policies that the government did or did not do to help black farmers back in the 50s, the 40s, or as far back as you could go?
It started in 1900. Black people own 19 million acres of land. We've got less than 2 million acres of land now. And what's happening is, again, so historically, even from then up to the present day, just say you're white, I'm black, and we wanted to go get a farm operating loan to be able to plant corn. Well, you will get your loan in February in time to go break your ground, get all your equipment and supplies needed to do it. They may approve me, but I might not get my money in August. Well, it's too late to plant.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's a real thing. Before we get off, I'm going to get your. Oh, I got your email. I'm going to send you a copy of the lawsuit that will give you a more historical perspective of the stuff that I'm telling you. Because the lawsuit itself, this is something that you need to read and you need to put out to the masses. Because one of the reasons why or how that the USDA has been able to get away with this is because one, the mainstream media is not reported, and the black media, they're disinterested because they want you to think that people in Detroit, New York, Philadelphia, and DC came from anywhere but down south. Well, their roots came from down south. The most brilliant people that I've met were in the classrooms of North Carolina A&T. You got to think I litigate against Ivy League attorneys all day, every day in what I do for a living, where I represent farmers at the administrative level. The most brilliant people I've ever seen was at HBCU.
All right, let me ask you this. Okay, what the life of a farmer goes this way. And let's say in your territory, let's say North Carolina or something like that. Here's January. You need to apply for the money January so that you can get it, so that you can get the seeds, the equipment. You already got some of the equipment, but you might have to buy new equipment, the seeds, the equipment, you got the land. Then you got to maybe pay some people to toilet. So you need your money, but you don't get no money back until the harvest, which is 5 months later. Is that normally the case when, and you need money to sustain before the harvest? You follow my question, right?
Yeah, I get where you're going.
Okay.
See, what happens is the white farmers, when they get a cost of living package built into their loan. And so just say I need $25,000 for my family to get by until this harvest is done. The black people don't get that. Anytime you bring up black farmers or black farmers who've been discriminated against, the largest civil rights suit ever settled by the United States was in favor of black farmers. But
I got you.
So until we can do right by each other, I know what the USDA is.
I got you.
But if I can't depend on you to get in the foxhole with me because you too busy looking cute, or you too busy. Well, if I write a bill or if I vote a bill to help another black person, I might not be able to give this salary because they use against me in the ad. Until we can get past that, we ain't gonna talk about you.
I love it. I love it. So you, like I say, but to go to, I love that, man. Come on, man. This town for that. So you get the money, but you don't make no money until the harvest. Is that right?
Yeah, historically, but you can make it doing that because in a perfect world, they would give you a cost of living expense into the loan.
I got you. I got you there.
But they don't give it to black people. So most black people that farm, they farm, but then they got a third shift job somewhere trying to keep the family up. If you was farming and you was black and you ever owed anything to the government, you weren't eligible for the grant. But you created a system to where you never were going to give me administrative justice anyway. Some people have been waiting 20 years to get a final agency decision. But with a similar situated white farmer can go to the administrative law judge and within 180 days, grievance is solved, don't like it, go to the district court. They say yes, no, you got your money in 15 days after that. But the black farmers, they use black people to this very day. Now let me tell you this.
Yeah.
You got my doggone blood pumping.
Yes, to get on it, man.
So in DC, the Office for Civil Rights, how in the world have they figured out to take people that look like me and you?
Yes.
In the name of civil rights, to take great pride in breaking the law or making sure that you and I don't get justice.
Are there noted very large black farms?
There's a guy in Arkansas has 700 acres. There's a guy in Kansas right now. You was talking about going into Kansas City. He has 2,000 acres, which was once part of a 4,000 acre parcel before when his daddy was still alive. But that's about the largest that I know personally.
Okay. When what's good about being a farmer?
Every time you put a piece of beef in your mouth, where do you think it comes from? Every time you eat them eggs, where do you think it comes from? There ain't nothing bad about it. But what I can tell you is this. If you don't control the knowledge how you eat and drink, then what good are you?
I got you.
Because at the end of the day, people up north, y'all depend on me down south. And as a black person, you ought to be interested in black farmers because the events that you see on TV, the riots on January the 6th, and the politics coming out of Florida, let's create a law so white people won't be uncomfortable to talk about discrimination. If those things continue to happen, what do you think is going to happen to me and you?
I got you.
This is no different than the starting of apartheid that was in South Africa. But the thing is, we know we will vote. We figured that out the last deal. We will vote. But doggone it, you don't have to give us something to vote for.
Let me ask you
that also includes looking at me and you.
Right.
And our own folks.
Right.
Because all skin folk ain't kin folks, and all black people ain't not got our best interest in heart.
Let me I like it where you're going with this, my friend. Let me ask you this. So you own a farm, is there, and I'm sure that you're gonna say yes, but is there discrimination of how much that guy who buys your crops, buys your tomatoes, gives you less money than he get it from the white guy because he trying to say something is wrong with yours?
That's all the way up through. That's in any aspect of business. But this is the catch. I'm not going to give you a solution. I'm not going to answer your question until I give you the solution. Why in the hell do we need them anyway?
Okay, I like that.
Now, at the end of the day, if black people, the black community, were to take the wealth within the black community, we would be the 8th wealthiest country in the world.
That's right.
But we don't like each other. We won't band together for nothing. Okay, let me give you a better example.
Yes.
You didn't mess around and hit something.
Yes.
Okay. You like college sports. You like sports.
Yes.
Look what Deion Sanders is doing at Jackson State down there.
Right.
Okay, so Deion Sanders has gotten our kids to start going back to HBCU.
That's right.
Okay, so what would Nick Saban be at Alabama without 70% of his players look like me and you?
That's right.
What has the University of Alabama ever done for a black man? What education can he give him and prepare him to what's to come?
I got you.
Can't do it. So why are we begging them for anything?
So is there a mechanism that the general public can come down or to buy their crops from black farmers directly?
It's all over the internet, man. I'm a member of a Black
Okay, I
Farmers
like
Group.
this. Now you're telling us something that we need to know, that we can go to a website and say we want to buy bushels of whatever from a black farmer.
There is a Facebook called Black Farmers Nationwide on Facebook. They got over 20,000 members and a lot of black farmers from all across the country, and they're selling food all the time because technology allows you now to be able to ship food and cooling packages and stuff like that. So, I mean, and then even there's a directory. There are people up in Michigan that are black that's growing food. There's no reason that you ought to be buying from anybody but them.
Okay,
But
yeah,
at
you
the
got
same
me
time,
thinking.
they got to be held accountable too. Because don't put on one face when Mr. Aspen Brogdon come here and well, Mr. Brogdon, this is what I want. And man, as soon as somebody else come out here that don't look like you and treat him different, oh well, so I just hope you come back later and give them half the price of what they made you pay for. Like I said, we got a whole lot of cleaning up to do.
Yeah, I got you. Is there has there been black, and I'm sure there's some cooperatives that, and whatever that means, black farmer cooperatives?
Yeah, that when you said the day you talked to a lady from Gary, Indiana, and I was curious and asked what was her name. There's a lady in Gary, Indiana, who's a very smart lady who has a cooperative made of black farmers. It's called 2020 Farm Cooperative. And they're doing the same marketplace that you're speaking of, where they've taken black farmers to be able to build this co-op, so we will be able to get farm direct from these black farms straight to your table.
Okay, I love it. Now, I found you because you spoke to the Kansas Black Farm Association, Black Farmers Association. Are there black farmers associations throughout the state? I mean, throughout the country in different states?
Yeah, oh yeah. If you'll go to that Black Farmers Nationwide group
Okay.
on Facebook, you just ask the question, man. And if there's somebody near you that can get you the food and stuff, man, they'll answer just like that. Yeah, and in fact, I'm almost wondering. I'm wondering why. How come as a people that we all are not asking the same questions you ask? We can complain about the conditions out here, but too many people are too uncomfortable. Makes them uncomfortable to go outside and what they've been taught to know.
Over the years, there has, I mean, and I'm taking you back in time, back slavery or early 1800s, there have been some black noted farmers. I mean, not just talking about George Washington Carver. And I guess he was a farmer with the peanuts and stuff like that. But there was a guy out of Kansas, Julius Potato, the Potato King. You heard of that? You heard of him?
No, I'm more into livestock, but no, I have not.
Yeah, there was him. There have been other noted black farmers who had special techniques that made their crops juicier, tastier, and stuff like that. And matter of fact, I just interviewed a lady that tells that. When you talk about cattle, are there special techniques that black farmers do or something like that in that regard?
Okay, Eli went in the cotton gin. But see, what you also have to remember this right here is that a lot of the innovation of the farms that started from 1800s, even come up to the 1960s, those innovations was founded or invented by black people, and it was stolen by white people to get the credit for it. So it's more than just a few that we can name. That I would go on the record to tell you it's probably 70% of the techniques used in farming today was started by the slaves to make it easier for them.
Let me ask you this. Do you know of a couple that you can cite offhand just easily enough to say a black guy did this? Anything come to mind?
How you keep your refrigerator? That came from a black guy. That came from somebody trying to keep the food cold, and so not spoiled. That was about, I don't know his name right off the top of my head, but that happened. The tractor, the motor and the tractor stuff like that. That was more of black people putting that thing together, bro. There's so much that black Americans have contributed and have been written out of of the history books or never placed in their organs that I was stolen from.
Is that your organization? Do y'all have? Give us the website, and do y'all have events or a dance or any of those kind of things?
No, I pretty much keep it on the down low these days. And so my thing is, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna do it in the best interest of all of them because they know not what they do.
Let me ask you this, and this is kind of like in the close. What's the biggest advancement, the biggest program that was some effective or what have you that helped Black farmers?
There ain't no advancement. It ain't been one since it's been here. It's all been lies, just like the Indians. Indians was given 2,500 treaties, and every last one of them has been broken. Same way with the Black farmers. They've been lied to since the inception. They've been lied to now by the White House, by the USDA, and we got some people that look just like me and you doing the
But I guess what I'm trying to get at is right here, man. Is there, like under President Kennedy, Obama, anybody, that there was a program that did help?
Yeah, there was a program under Bill Clinton that they repudiated the settlement agreement. Black people didn't get anything out of it. Then so 20 years later, they come and take the farms that was supposed to be written.
Okay.
And actually, boy, I'm gonna say something's gonna ruffle some feathers, Ray. I don't even care. There were more farms taken illegally under Barack Obama than there was George Bush. And then President Biden put the secretary who was responsible for doing it back in office. There's going to be a reckoning in 2022 at the ballot box. Because you lied to us and then you bought Willie Lynch back to us, what you did. And no, they don't get a pass. Because I don't want to hear the argument, well, what do you got? You know, that if you put somebody else in there, then you know what you're going to get. I'd rather know what I'm not going to get for you to hit me for my vote and lie to my face and then take my neighbor's farm. Just for my vote, because we've been loyal like dogs to that party.
Yeah, can do you mind sharing the website of the foundation?
I actually took the website down because we're in the meeting.
Okay. Because do you want people to donate to you?
I'll have it up next week on the.
Okay, and we're gonna put it on the description, everybody.
I'll give you the stuff to it.
Yeah, do that. We're gonna put it how we can help the cause, and we're gonna put it in the description. I thank you for coming on the channel, man. I'm glad, man. Let me tell you something. When you come on here, and I want everybody who watch this, I want people to tell it. You tell it, man. Shit, that's what it's for. If we can't tell it on this channel, I don't know where. So I got no problem with what you telling it like you told it. And then we're gonna end on this because I got to end on a good note. Man, I got a championship steer cowboy on my channel. I mean, one of the best of all. How about this? Is there a Black guy who has been who was the worldwide champion? You know, I mean,
yeah. Fred Whitfield, who retired maybe 4 years ago, is considered one of the greatest cowboys ever doing. He's got 8 world championships.
Okay.
This year at the NFR, there were four black cowboys for the first time in professional rodeo history at the finals in calf roping.
Oh, really?
Last year, a young black kid won it by the name of Chad Mayfield.
I think now his name, he got noted. I think I remember hearing that story.
Yeah, he won over $1 million last year in 1 year alone.
And is there a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Hall of Fame is Fred Whitfield. There's Myron Dighton. It's but Charlie Sampson for bull riding. They're in the last 30 years, professional or black cowboys have really come on, because what used to be is so, and it still is, so expensive to go up and down the road with, as far as diesel fuel, and horses are expensive, and trucks and trailers. But now these young black kids, they're very articulate, and they're getting sponsors, and they're getting better horses.
Okay.
But you can go on YouTube now and see black calf roping. I mean, that's my thing. So that's what we're talking about. You see black calf roping. There's more black people roping calves than any other discipline in rodeo. You see a whole lot of all black calf ropers, or a lot of black people, ropers, what they call jackpots. Let's go to my backyard, let's rope.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
I love it. And I got to put the plug in. I got a niece, man. My brother's daughter is a championship equestrian out in California. And she be winning them races and stuff like that. And she's just I guess she's a junior or senior in high school and been doing it for a number of years. And we're so proud of her. And so I know a little bit about it. I went to the stables and saw her once when I was out there. Everybody hit the subscribe button on Strong Inspirations. I don't know why you haven't. Hit the like button on this video because you can feel my man's passion. And he's spending time out of his life for others.
Well, hold on a second before you go.
Yep.
Well, you can cut them off. But I really enjoyed this particular interview. And any time that you want me on, it's all of me, bro.
Oh, it's done.
Because you're going to see some stuff that goes down in politics and over the news that's concerning the black farmer issue. And I'm going to be right in the middle of it. And you always got a friend here. If you want me to talk, I'll talk to you.
I'm coming to see you too, man. Watch out.
Come on down here.
I'm coming.
Hey,
I'm hanging this summer once everything clears up a little bit. I say this. I say this with all sincerity. I want you to stay strong, stay safe, stay on your grind, stay with your attitude, man. Stay who you are. Keep turning over them stones, showing the people, because it's almost life and death.
That's it.
It's almost life and death.
Hey,
everybody, this is what we do. With that, I'll say bye-bye. We out. Peace.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, whenever you do get to Nashville, we know the hot chicken right here, boy. And on the smoker, I can make that thing work.
All right. I'm down with it. All right, my man.
I appreciate the interview.
I want one of them hats too. Why not find the